When viewers just started watching the incredible performance of the actors in the series Magnificent Century, many wondered about the fate of the red-haired beauty whose life changed drastically in one day. It was no coincidence that the director showed that Alexandra's entire family had been killed in front of her and the girl had been sent into slavery in Istanbul. There must have been some sort of secret intention behind this. Indeed, throughout the series, certain mystical elements were skillfully embedded in the story of the saga, which sometimes helped characters make difficult decisions. We are talking about dreams. Dreams have always been important in all cultures. And although not all people are able to interpret dreams, those who have developed intuition and psychic abilities can use them to solve difficult situations. Alexandra was such a person. After becoming a prisoner of infidels, the girl became sad and depressed. Life had lost its meaning for her with the death of her relatives. One day she had a strange dream. In the dream, she saw her family visiting her. When she began to cry and say that she did not want to live anymore and wanted to see them again soon, her parents and sister convinced her that nothing would change if she died. But if she tried her best to move on, she would have a chance to avenge her parents' and sister's death. So the girl woke up inspired by a new goal: to move forward and get revenge for the death of those she loved. From now on, her efforts would be directed towards revenge. But most likely, the dream has nothing to do with it at all. As you know, the human brain works a little differently during sleep, and often unsolvable situations become easier when a person goes to bed thinking about the current dilemma. So it was with Alexandra. She missed her family very much and wanted to see them, and she also wanted to punish those responsible for their death, although she did not realize this herself yet. The dream that night only ordered her thoughts and pushed her in the right direction. After that, Alexandra decided to live at all costs and punish the killers of her loved ones. If the girl had told someone about her dream, then most likely she would have been told that her parents had come to her dream to warn her of impending danger. This is the most logical interpretation of the appearance of deceased relatives in dreams. However, this interpretation would not be entirely correct. Each person is responsible for their own destiny, and it is up to them to decide what course of action to take. Sleep can help us choose the right path, especially if we have developed intuition like Alexandra. So, the girl decided to delay her untimely death and attempt to achieve her revenge. Over time, she won Sultan Suleiman's favor and became his favorite. Sultan personally gave her the name Hurrem. And from that moment, her new life began. Raised in an Orthodox family, Hurrem quickly understood the realities of the harem and the foundations of life there, where everyone is on their own. Women in the seraglio constantly scheming against the Sultan's favorites, trying to undermine their influence. When Sultan had a new hobby, Hurrem did not hesitate to eliminate her rival, even though it was her friend Maria who turned out to be this rival. Maria, after Hurrem's story about changing religion, decided to follow her example to get a better future. After converting to Islam and receiving the name Gulnahal, the girl was allowed to visit the Sultan's chambers several times. Suleiman enjoyed spending time with her so much that he made Gulnahal a candidate for his new favorites. This, of course, did not please Hurrem, who decided to get rid of the red-haired woman despite their friendship. In the end, their own position and privilege were more important than any friendship. The Sultan sent Gulnahal luxury furs as a gift after spending the night together. The girl was very pleased with such a generous gift and showed it to Hurrem. In response, Hurrem took the furs away from her, saying that she was unworthy to wear them. She did so for a reason. After returning the selected items to Gulnahal, Hurrem poisoned the fur before that. So, the next morning, Gulnahal woke up with a disfigured face. Thus, Hurrem got rid of his rival. And after that act, Hurrem saw a dream again. In his dream, his dead mother came to him again. Hurrem showed him his little son, and in response, she began to reproach him for forgetting revenge. Alexandra's mother rightfully noted that from then on, Hurrem's hands were stained with blood and poison. And such a girl could not possibly be his beloved daughter. The meaning of the dream was that Alexander was finally reborn as a Hurrem and broke with his past. Revenge faded into the background. Now, The main thing for Hurrem was her position and the power she had gained by owning Sultan's heart. This dream became a fork in the road. One road led to revenge for her murdered relatives, while the other led to forgetting her past life and accepting a new fate. Hurrem realized that revenge would not bring her loved ones back, but would only harm herself and her young son, so she decided to forget about it and look forward to a new life. Well, another dream featured in the storyline of the series was a dream when Hurrem was in exile. She was sent to the old palace on charges of murdering a girl named Aishi, but although she was not guilty, she could not prove her innocence. An offer to help her return to Topkapi came unexpectedly, and Ibrahim Pasha promised to drop all charges if Hurrem apologized to Mahidevran Sultan and kissed her hem as a sign of humility. However, in response to this generous offer, Hurrem refused categorically. After that, Hatice Sultan came to visit her at the old palace. She brought her little son Mehmed to see his mother. The Sultana began to persuade Hurrem that, because of her stubbornness and pride, she might lose everything, including the love of the Sultan and her son. This conversation threw a shadow of doubt over Hurrem's heart. And when she had another dream, a decision was made instantly. In her dream, Hurrem saw Suleiman giving Mahidevran the same ring she had given to her at that time. This dream could be interpreted as a sign that while Hurrem was in exile, Mahidevran would regain the Sultan's affection again, and then everything would be over for Hurrem. That is, if it weren't for Hurrem's resentment and outbursts, she would never have been sent into exile. The fact that she handed over the ring to another woman could be seen as a manifestation of the dominance of a man's mind over a woman's emotions. Therefore, in order to return to Topkapi and take her rightful place, Hurrem had to learn to obey the will of a man. She did so. Having sent Ibrahim's consent to the terms announced, Hurrem soon returned to the harem and again became the Sultan's favorite. But from now on, her behavior radically changed. She was sweet and courteous towards everyone, trying to avoid conflicts and smiling at everyone. This new attitude greatly contributed to the Sultan no longer believing all the gossip and slander surrounding his beloved Hurrem's name. So, this dream helped the Haseki to see his flaws and change his ways.